Happy Thursday, everybody. It's Kenny Lamons here. Welcome back to Medicare Millennials, where we chronicle our journey on building a large, successful Medicare book of business and share that with you as we go. Today, I wanted to touch on, I'm working on my AHIP today, trying to get that all squared off before next week. And I just wanted to take a minute because I keep getting comments and emails regarding training. What type of training do you need as a new agent, particularly in Medicare? And how much training do you really need? Like, what's most important to look for if you're new? So I want to address that for you guys. This is going to be geared towards a face-to-face based agent, and a lot of it can apply to a phone agent for sure. But how much training would a new Medicare and maybe even final expense, if you're going to cross-sell that agent, need to be prepared to be successful in the field? So let me start by just talking about what my level of training was when I was brand new to the industry. I did work for a quasi-captive agency. We had several companies, so we were brokers, but we were LOA. We were pretty much required to show up to a lot of trainings. We ran a very particular system. You certainly weren't a free independent agent. So I did a whole video, if you want to go back and look at it, on the pros and cons of that. But one of the pros was we really had a lot of hands-on training. So not only did my main recruiter / manager ride with me for about 2 weeks actually in the field, but then after that I would hop in the car with other agents that were successful, just watch what they were doing or ask if they would ride along with me. So I got a lot of personal training, hands-on in the field, watching people fail and watching people do really well, and just taking all of that paper knowledge and applying it. So that helped me make the leap maybe a bit faster than others. So while I don't necessarily think that a captive environment is right for everyone to begin with, I think that level of hands-on training is hard to beat. So the number one point I would like to make for a new agent that's thinking about getting into Medicare is, in the perfect world, you want to do at least 3 to 4 ride-alongs, to the point that you have seen a presentation from beginning to end multiple times. So 3 to 4 ride-alongs, I don't mean 3 to 4 appointments. I mean, if possible, over the course of your first few weeks, 3 to 4 days in the field with another agent. So if you're really remote, you live in, middle of Missouri, and your IMO is going to be out of South Carolina, you might have to, I don't know how you would work that out, see how serious people are. I know it with my upline that they will offer to fly somebody out to ride with you with some certain stipulations. If you're going to go completely independent, though, I would try to find a way, even call a local agent and just say, hey, for the heck of it, can I tag along with you? I've taken people along with me even if they weren't working at my agency. So you really, really, really need those ride-alongs, because you can watch every YouTube video in the world. You can read the Medicare and You handbook. You can take your AHIP. You can study all the resources, talk to somebody over the phone till you're blue in the face. But at the end of the day, until you see it in action and you see somebody who's effective at the process, it's just going to take you a lot more stumbling and a lot more time to feel confident and be proficient if you don't ride along with somebody in person. The second thing that I would say after a ride along, again, you don't have to work for a captive agency to get a ride along. Okay, that can be doable. There's other agents around you, or maybe the upline that you're thinking of working with might be able to accommodate you. After that, I would say you're looking to verify that whatever agency or upline you're working with has ongoing trainings. So that can be YouTube. That's fine. Weekly, every single day or week, there's new content that's relevant, and it's furthering your knowledge as an agent. It's furthering your knowledge in the Medicare space, product specific or sales training, whatever. That can be YouTube. It can be Zoom conferences. It can be conference calls, but it needs to be ongoing. You need to stay connected with other agents that are actually out there doing what you're doing. And in my opinion, at least once a week, if not more frequently than that. And this is a theme in the business. I've heard this for a long time, and I know it to be true. Agents that plug in to those trainings and those resources and other agents tend to be more successful and maybe make it into the 8% of agents that stick in the business and are successful. So you need ongoing trainings, and you need to plug it into them. And then the last thing I would say is just resources. And so there's a lot of stuff that's just fluff that recruiters will offer you as far as resources, but I'll give you some examples that are specifically helpful. So in my personal agency Dropbox, we have a compilation of pretty much all plan materials. So it's a folder for Medicare Advantage. It has all the updated summary of benefits, enrollment kits, etc. We have a folder for final expense, and all of our main carriers that we've ever used. We have surrender forms. We have automatic bank withdrawal update forms. We have prescription drug lists, a couple of cheat sheets that combine them all. But I'm big on going, if you're trying to sell a particular product, go to the source and look at that company's declinable drug list, etc. So we compile all of those things. So imagine you're new in the field. You rode along with somebody a few times. You got your first lead drop. You're out there and you go to sell, and you get geared into a certain product because of the needs assessment that you ran with your client. And all of a sudden you realize you don't have a form you need, or there's a rare drug that you're not sure if it's a declinable or not. Of course, you want to always call your trainer, your upline, but sometimes you don't have service, can't get through to somebody. You need that resource handy and available to you. These are the things that will keep you from saying, well, I guess I'll come back, or I'm not quite sure, so I'm going to do an application for XYZ company, and let's say a Medicare supplement, they get declined because you didn't have all the information you needed, and now you've got to go back, or maybe you lose that deal altogether. So the third thing, again, is resources. It can be plan materials, declinable drug lists, just commonly used forms. And then other common resources are like the Medicare and You Handbook, drug formularies if there's a printable version in case you don't have service saved on a tablet or even in a folder, physically if you need to in your bag. So those are just three things that I would particularly to training that I think every new agent is going to need. Need the right resources, you need ongoing trainings, and you need some face-to-face training, some ride-alongs. If you have all three of those, you check those boxes, you're going to set yourself up for the most success. If you have any questions and want me to go into more detail on those three components, I always put our email below. Please like and subscribe. Give me any video ideas. I'll cover anything you guys want. Good luck with AHIP. Have a happy Thursday.